So here you can see that the title of this slide is selecting a career, and this is the first time that I have introduced a slide like this because I feel that this is one of the most important step that will be needed by you while you are going for selecting a career, because unless you follow the correct steps, it will be really difficult for you to change your career after some time, because changing career is always very difficult, because I have seen many students, they take one career in the beginning, and after some 10 or 15 years they realize that this career is not suitable for me. Then what they do is that they think of changing career to a entirely new job or new career. What happens is that when you are doing something like that, you will be wasting a lot of your time in the initial maybe 10 or 15 years you will be wasting. Then again, if you after 10 or 15 years you are going and selecting another career, what happens is that you won't get sufficient time in the second career to achieve the desired development or desired progress in that career. So these are the problems that you may face if you are selecting a wrong career that is not suitable for you. Many times what happens is that many of the students may not be having any idea which career I should choose. Just because my friend is going for this course, that will be also good for me. So this is the attitude kept by many of the students while selecting a career, because what is suitable for your friend may be suitable for him or her. There is no guarantee that you may be able to excel in that particular career. So selecting a career is a very important step, and from this year onwards I have therefore prepared a lot of slides that will be useful for you while making a career selection. Now here you can see that there is a slide that is mentioning selecting a course means selecting a lifestyle. Here you can say that is selecting, when you are selecting a course, most of the time you are selecting a particular lifestyle, because you know what is the lifestyle of a teacher, and you know what is the lifestyle of a lawyer or a business person. So when you are selecting B.Ed, if you are going for MSc and you are taking B.Ed after that, or you are going to clear the set examination, net examination, most probably you will be becoming a teacher. You know what is the way of life of a teacher. It is completely different from the way of life of a business person. So that is why when you are selecting a course, most of the time you are selecting a lifestyle. So this selection should be done very carefully. Now here I have listed out some of the most important steps that has to be followed while you are in the process of career selection. You can see that there are 10 basic steps, and I will briefly explain what are these basic steps, because these are the basic steps which are mentioned by most of the career experts also. The first part you can see here very well that it is mentioning about the self reflection. What do you mean by self reflection? I will like self reflection basically means you are trying to understand what are your interests. You are trying to know about yourself. What are your interests? What are your skills? What are your personal values? So your career should be based on your personal skills and interest. If you are taking a career just because my friend has selected that career, it may not be suitable for you. So here the first step in any career selection is understanding yourself. What are your interests? What are my skills and my personal values? Then what kind of subjects are interesting to me? Which subject I enjoy most? And where are my natural strength? Where are my natural talents lie? So this is an important step that you have to follow. First, you have to understand yourself, whom you are, what I can do. And based on that, you have to go, we will be going to the second part, The second part is mentioning identifying your goals, because this is an another because once you know whom you are, what you are, the second process is easy, because one, you know what are your interests, where your interests are there, then you can easily identify your goal. What will be goal, whom you want to achieve in your career, whom I should be in my career. That is the second part of your process, identifying the goal. Now, usually everybody sees that everybody should have a dream. So once your dream is clear, once your goal is clear, then you have a direction. So this is the, because I want to go to Delhi. Then there is a direction. In only if you move in the northward direction, you can reach Delhi. If you are moving in the southward direction, you can never reach Delhi. So this is that identifying your goal, identify your life's objective, or identifying the dreams in your life is an important step. Then, because unless you are in the correct, you are following the correct role, the work life balance, your job satisfaction may not be easy if your goals are not clear. Then once you select a goal, that for example you want to be a teacher or you want to be a lawyer, then you know what should be the path you have to follow. Then that is a third step, explore the career option. For example, you have selected you want to be a teacher. Then if you want to be a teacher, because now you have completed your BSc in zoology, and if you are looking for a teacher, you have to take a B.Ed. Then only you can, then after B.Ed you have to again and qualify in a state level examination called the state eligibility test, or test or TET. There are two tests, one is TET and other SET. So these are the pathways to be followed if you are selecting a career in teaching field. On the other hand, you are going to become a lawyer, then you have to take LLB after this. So this is why once your goal is clear, for example, some people may not be interested in pursuing further study, they want to get a job immediately. So they may be looking for a short-term courses which will immediately place you in a job. So this is the third step. What are the type of courses which are available in the market, which will be suitable for my personal growth? So that is the third step. Explore the different type of career options available. Then there is another step, that is the fourth one. Consider your skills and education. Access your existing knowledge as well as skill, because every time when you move forward to a particular objective, or move in the direction of a particular goal, you have to properly evaluate what are my skills, what I know about that. Then, and if I, whether I should do something to improve my qualification, so that I will be more suitable for that particular type of job. So this is the fourth step. You have to enhance, you have to improve your personal skills as well as your training, so that you will be able to be better placed in that particular career. Then another thing is gaining practical experience. For example, you want to become a teacher. Now, if you want to be a teacher, as I told you in the beginning, you have to first take a B.Ed. Then after B.Ed, you have to qualify in a TET examination or SET examination. With the B.Ed and TET examination, TET or SET certificate, you may not be able to secure a job, because most of the time they will look for practical experience. So unless you have been able to get one year or 2 year or 3 year of teaching experience in any institution, most of the institution won't be taking you. So that is another difficulty that you are going to experience, especially in the initial period of time. Then what is the sixth one? Sixth one says that evaluate the job market. Now consider demand of professionals in that particular area. So when I complete this job, when I complete this course, whether there will be sufficient demand the for particular job. For example, you are going to be a teacher. Nowadays, earlier teaching is a very good job, but nowadays becoming a teacher is not an easy thing. There are plenty, you will be facing immense competition in this field because almost everyone is looking into becoming a teacher. So teaching job is highly competitive. Recently, I went for an interview in St. Teresa's College. There are some 20 candidates are there. All of them are equally brilliant. Now, and selecting one candidate from that 20 candidates is very, very, very difficult. So this is the problem that you are going to face. There will be immense competition in whatever field. But for example, teaching is a job everybody know. So if you go for this kind of popular jobs or common jobs, you are going to face immense competition, intense competition, and in that particular area. Then another thing, for example, you are going to be a teacher. Then what you can do is that you have to consult with the other teachers. For example, your friends may be your uncles or aunts may be in that area, or you can go and talk to them whether this particular field is good for me. What are the difficulties that I am going to experience if I become a teacher? So this is known as seeking guidance and advice, because this is also a valuable thing, because once you seek proper guidance, those people who are already in that particular profession may be able to guide you properly. So this is another important step that you are going to follow. You have to follow if you want to get into a suitable career. Then finally, there is a step called making the decision. So the making a decision is also an important step, because once you know which goal I have to follow, then you are taking the decide, you have to go qualify in the decide courses. Then finally you are taking a decision that you want to be a teacher, or you want to be a lawyer, or you want to be a police person, or you want to follow become a soldier or an army officer. Then these are the path that I have to take. So this is how you are going forward. And finally, prepare a plan. So, and based on that plan, for example, you are going becoming a teacher. What you have to do? You have to first complete B.Ed degree. After B.Ed, you have to qualify in TET or SET examination. That is the second part of the plan. And after that, you have to get some practical experience. So unless you follow these three different steps, getting into a teaching job may not be easier for you. So this is how you are going to select a career, and these are the 10 basic steps that are involved in selecting any career. Now, the second step, how to find your interest. This is another difficulty many of the students are usually telling. What are your difficult? For example, when I say that identify a one particular goal, or identify what is your dream. Many times, many students will tell me that I don't know what is my interest. I don't know where whom I should be in my life. So this is a important problem many of you are facing. So what you can do is that these are the some of the important steps by which you can find your own interest. For example, here I have mentioned that what just on a piece of paper you write down. Later you can write down what are my hobbies. Try to find out what are your hobbies, what you are doing when when you have a free time. So then another thing that you can do to find out your interest is that you please write down on a piece of paper what are the activities that I am performing usually, because this is a vacation time and every day you are doing something, and just write on a piece of paper what are the activities that I have done yesterday. Then after we doing this for 1 week or 2 week, you will be able to understand that you are following certain regular activities. These are the activities that you are doing every day. So if you know that what are the activities you are doing every day, after some time you will get that this is where my interest lies. So this is one way by which you can find out what are your interests by simply keeping the writing down on a paper for 1 week or 2 week or 1 month. After 1 or 2 months, you will definitely be able to understand what are your hobbies or what are the activities you enjoy most. Then another thing that you can do is that you can ask your parents, you can ask your interest, which job you will be suitable for you. Based on their knowledge about you, they will be also able to guide you. Your parents can give you a lot of ideas, your teachers can give you a lot of ideas, your friends can give you a lot of ideas. So this step is known as seeking feedback. And there is another important thing which I have already, keep a journal. And it's what are the activities that you are doing each day, you should write on a piece of paper. And if you do this for 1 month or 2 months, slowly you will be able to get a picture that you are moving in this direction or on in one particular direction. And once you know that this is the pathway that I am usually taking, then identifying the goal will become more easier. Then another thing is that this is also explore diverse activities. If you don't know what you should do, then what you can do is that engaging different type of activities and try to understand how much this activity will be suitable for me. So that is another method by which you can find your own interest. Then based on the past experience also, you will be able to understand whether this part, for example, if you want to be a teacher, sometimes during your BSc classes, sometimes some teachers might have asked you for taking a seminar. Then you think about that situation, whether I was able to conduct that seminar properly, whether I will be able to convince my students properly, whether I will be able to handle the disturbances created by students during that time. So this is how you can analyze your past experiences. Based on that past experiences, you can you can also get a clear idea what you should do when you are when you are going for a career selection. Then there is another thing called observe your passion and flow. For example, when you are doing certain activity, you may realize that you are not you are fully absorbed, fully immersed in that. Then you don't know, you are not even thinking about whether time, you are not thinking about taking lunch or food in time. That means you are very intensely, very deeply absorbed in that particular job. That means you like that job very much. So this is how you are able to find out what are your interests. So unless you know this, unless you are able to understand this process of whom you are, and what you want, you won't be able to get into a career that is suitable for me. So first and the most important step is understanding yourself, and based on that understanding, you have to develop a goal. And once the goal is clear, then everything will be easy. So for most of the students, this process of self reflection, identifying whom I am, what I want, where I should go, is the most important and basic step in any career selection. Now we move to another slide. Here you can see that I have written here that there are around 35 lakh Malayalis are living abroad. This is the number of Malayalis which are living abroad. And in here I also put that this number is equal to number of immigrants. Number of immigrants means these Bengalis, Biharis, Assamese people who are working in Kerala. Now usually you may be hearing that in Kerala we don't face a lot of opportunity. And because saying the lack of opportunity, many Malayalis are leaving Kerala and they are trying to work in a different country. And nowadays you are seeing there is intense competition for moving abroad. So that is so. But at the same time, you have to look into another thing. That's when one Malayali is leaving Kerala saying there is a lack of opportunity, another immigrant person, another Bihari, Bengali, or Assami are coming to Kerala finding an opportunity. So we say that there is no opportunity, but others find opportunity in our same place. So this is a real, that is what, that is our land has also a lot of opportunity, but the problem is that we don't consider these jobs valuable, or we don't know how to excel or how to make money using this sort of job. So that is the problem that we are facing in when you are living in Kerala. See, then next step is what are the basic things that you have to do if you want to improve your career. So I have mentioned some of the most important steps. Here you can see that one important step is certainly language. Because if you know Malayalam very well, that is very good thing. Along with the Malayalam, you can speak in English or in Hindi. That is again improving the improving your career chances in any job. Even if you are living in Kerala, unless you know English and unless you know Hindi to some extent, it will be really difficult to live in Kerala nowadays, because a lot of non-Keralites are now living in Kerala. So if you go to certain market, I have seen that I am when I go to market in Kakanad area, there is one fish seller there. He can speak all three languages very. He speak in English, he speak in Malayalam, he speak in Hindi, and all in very highly fluent manner. So, and because of that, more and more customers are coming to him. So language skill is an important skill. Recently, I heard that when you are learning a second language, that is actually increasing your IQ. So remember that if you know two languages and you are able to use two languages very fluently, your IQ is more. If you are using three languages, your IQ will be still more. Recently, might have heard that in Karnataka election, the brain behind that success of Congress was one person called Sunil Kanagalu. His name is Sunil Kanagalu, and the TV people are telling that he knows 5 languages. That means he is highly intelligent. Unless you know you are intelligent, you cannot learn another language. So always think about that. Learning a second language is always improving your skill. So if you want to, I will also suggest you that you learn English and you learn Hindi, then you will be able to compete very well with other people in Kerala as well as in India. Because if you want a job outside Kerala, knowing Malayalam alone won't be going to help you very much. But if you know Hindi also, it is surely making you more valuable to the employers. Then if you want to go abroad, certainly think about studying German or think about studying Spanish, because these are some of the languages which are commonly used by people from many people in other parts of the world. So this is another thing that you have to develop, improving your language skill. So actually degree is sufficient. If you know the necessary steps to be followed for career success, even a degree is still sufficient for you to progress very well. Then another is computer skill, because you all people are using mobile a lot, but most of you are not very good in computer. Unless you are using computer, you are not going to learn computer very well. So learning the especially ability to use MS Office, how to use MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, these are the basic skills needed in computer. So improve your skills in computer, because whatever job you are going, Without a skill in computer, you even if you want to be a teacher, lawyer, any job, or a business person, unless you know computer very well, you cannot perform very well in that. So people who lack computer skills may not be suitable. Even if you want to go for a supermarket as a salesperson, you still need computer knowledge, because most of the softwares are in computer. Most of the softwares are using latest computing software. So computing skill or computer skills or computer literacy is a very valuable addition to your career. Then another thing is money management skill, because in any area money is a very important thing. Unless you know how to make money and use money and keep money, you are not going to be successful in any area. So generating money and using money is a skill that you have to learn, and nobody had taught you about these basic skills of money management. I think basically people of Kerala do not know how to develop money, how to generate money, as well as use money. You might have seen that when NRI people are coming back, they have a lot of money with them, and they most of them don't know how to use that money properly. You know what they are doing? They will be building a very posh big house, spending almost 50% or 75% of their earnings, and after spending 3 or 4 months or maximum 6 months, they will be leaving to the foreign country again, keeping this house closed. This is how most of the Malayalis are spending their money. So we do not know how to use the money properly, and this is a skill Americans know very well. That is why they are making huge profit in from every disaster. Even when Corona was there, Americans are making money. So most of the vaccines companies are belonging to American people, and they make huge profit. So money management skill, I will talk about this again one in another slide, is a very important skill that you have to learn. Then another thing is interpersonal skill. Recently, I heard a sentence that saying that there are 10 different types of intelligence. Of the 10 different type of intelligence, the most valuable intelligence is interpersonal intelligence. It is interpersonal intelligence. That is how you are going to behave or interact with the other people in your family, in your office, in your neighborhood. So it is your ability to communicate properly with other people that you are coming across, that is making a big difference. So if you don't know how to behave, how to interact with other people, you cannot excel in any field. So this interpersonal intelligence is a skill that you have to learn and you have to develop. Then what is called continuous learning. You may think that after big degree your education is over. Actually it is just a beginning, because up to this stage you have studied something, and most of the time it may not be very useful to you, because you have now completed BSc Zoology. From my personal experience, I have completed BSc Zoology 30 years back, and the zoology that I have studied that time and the zoology you people are studying now are not very much different. It is almost 90% same. So that during the last 30 years there has not been no progress in the zoology curriculum or zoology syllabus that is imparted in our state. So this is the problem. Unless you are learning every day, you are making an effort to learn something new, you cannot excel. Then there is another basic skill called time management and organization, because this is another valuable skill that is needed for time, because now up to this stage it is easy. Now maybe after BSc, some of you may be thinking of going for a job, maybe a part-time job, and you also want to study. And if you are, and though many of the students who are going abroad also are doing this, but unless you know how to manage your time very properly, this is going to be a very difficult thing. And those people who usually work and study, most of the time they fail. Very few are able to excel, success very well in their career, when they are doing any kind of part-time job. So this time management, managing your time very efficiently, is a very basic skill needed by everyone for career growth. Then another two important things are emotional intelligence, because when you are working in any area, you may come across people who you don't like. Maybe they are creating all sorts of trouble for you. They may be finding fault with you, all your activities. Now, this is where you have to show emotional intelligence. Unless you know how to deal with these people, how to balance your emotions properly, you will be carried out by this kind of accusation, this kind of fault finding by other people. So emotional intelligence, or keeping your emotions in balance, is an important skill needed for the career growth. So those people who have always reached very great heights have this quality called emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence will help you to reach great heights. Yeah, and if you know how to interact with the people, how to keep people who are finding fault with you. So these are some of the skills that need. And finally, professionalism. Now, one problem with many employees usually is that they will work very well when they are monitored. That is, when somebody is always there to monitor your progress, your activities, you are working very well. But on the other hand, if there is no one, you are not going to do anything. You are simply spending time in office without doing your work properly. This is called a lack of professionalism, because you have entered this particular career because you want to reach certain level of growth in that. Only if you are working in a self motivated way, only if you are keeping the sincerity in your work, you will be able to excel properly in that field. So these are some of the basic skills that you need if you want to develop properly. Now, we are now coming to three possibilities that you can be in your career. Once you select what is your career, then there are three different possibilities usually. These are the three different possibilities that usually happens. And the one is being an employed person. Now, if you want to be an employed person, then, for example, you go to becoming a teacher. This is the route that I have to take. You want to be a lawyer. This is the route I have to take. You want to be a computer analyst. Then you have to take courses suitable for you to take a different type software, etc. So this is the routes most of the people are usually taking. They want to be an employed person. Now, one advantage of an employed person is that most of the employed persons have a comfortable lifetime, comfortable office time. That means they are working from 9 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. So this is one advantage of this salaried job. Salaried job will be giving you a chance to enjoy your family life in a more better way. But at the same time, this salaried job has its own difficulty. The difficulty is that if you are in a salaried job, you are never going to be rich. That I am going to tell you, because if you want to make money and become rich and you want to enjoy higher standard of living, definitely take my advice that if you are following a salaried job, you will never get rich. I will tell you some of the examples of big people. You know about this. There are many big people like now whom, for example, Bill Gates. Bill Gates have dropped, was studying in Harvard University, and after second year he dropped from there. He dropped that job. He discontinued that studies. And similarly, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs also discontinued his education. So these are all big people who have quit the studies in the middle of their education. And now see, even though they don't have a formal educational background, they have contributed a lot to the society, lot to the world. Even if without Bill Gates, this computer may not be working. Without Steve Jobs, most of the Apple phones won't be there. So they have made huge progress. So this is an important thing that you have to understand, that being in a salaried job, you are not going to be rich. So if you want to make a lot of money, then taking a salaried job may not be the right option for you, because it always has its own, it limits your development. Now I will tell you one more example. That is the case of Gautam Adani. You know, the Gautam Adani is one of the richest person in India, maybe one among the richest person in the world also. Now, recently I came across a writing somewhere in internet, and it is mentioned that the father of Gautam Adani, he was from Gujarat, and he was a small textile shop owner. So that is the beginning of Gautam Adani. Now you see how much he has progressed. It is only because he is in a business. So if you want to make money, salaried job is not going to help you very much. Now there is always a saying that our this university degrees are only making you good for salaried job, and it will never help you to become it will never help you in making a lot of money. And that is one important difficulty that you are going to face if you are in a salaried job. But at the same time, salaried job has some comfort. The most important comfort is that you will be able to enjoy your life in a more easily relaxed manner. So these are some of the advantages of salaried job. Then second, so compared with the salaried job, if you are in a self-employed, you are in a business area, then you will be able to progress faster. Even from my personal experience, I had seen that many of my own cousins who are my age, and they have not been in any formal job, but they are doing business. They have made huge profits in their life, and they are now enjoying much more comforts in life than I used to enjoy. So this is a thing that you have to keep in your mind. And if you want to make more money, the salaried job are not suitable for you, then you should look for a business, or you should try to become a self-employed person. Then what I am going to tell next one is about why, about the third possibility. Why I am mentioning this third possibility is that when earlier, when I till last year, I used to mainly focus on different courses which you can do after your BSc in zoology. Now it is from this year I have started a slide like this. The reason is that even though when I am checking the placement or of most of my previous students, I could see that most of them are now remaining as housewife. Then another thing I have noticed, that in India, the percentage of housewives in India is only percentage of working women in India is only 20%. That is 80% of the women in India are housewives. Now, another thing that I have noticed is that the percentage of working women in India in 1983 was 33%, and today it is only 20%. That is, during the last 40 years, the number of women working in India has decreased, not increased. It has actually decreased. The reason may be because of the economical progress of India, Each family has now in a, is now in a better are financially much more better than the families of 1983. So in 1983, most of the women are working because they have a need to work to balance the no, the income of the family. Unless to get some extra income for the family and to live happily, they need to work. Now that is not the situation of women in the 21st century. Most of the housewives are now thinking that if husband is earning well, why should I also go for work and make my family members suffer? So this may be the reason why fewer women are now working. So now I think that it is important that I must also introduce you with some courses that may be useful to you if your intention is to become a housewife. And being a housewife is never a bad thing. It's also a great job, a noble job. The reason, and even housewives are also contributing a lot of things to the development of our society, because recently I read a news that is mentioning N. Chandrasekharan. You know who is N. Chandrasekharan? N. Chandrasekharan is the chairman of Tata Group, and he once wrote somewhere in Twitter, I think, when I used to drive car, my wife will be also sitting with me at the front, and what my wife was doing is that she will be counting number of Tata cars on the road. And that time when she is counting Tata cars, there are only very few Tata cars on the road. Then his wife told him that please do something about this. This is the message that she told her. Please do something about this. And that advice from her has changed the thinking of N. Chandrasekharan, and after that he has completely revolutionized the manufacturing process of Tata Motors. Now you can see that maybe 1 out of 4 cars on the road may be a Tata car. Now that earlier people think Tata cars are bad car. Now that image has also changed. Now Tata car is as good or more good than most of the foreign cars that we are seeing in the car. So this is all because of one simple advice given by the wife of N. Chandrasekharan. What I was mentioning you is that being even when you are a housewife, you can contribute a lot to the society. Because there is always a saying that behind the success of every man there is a woman. Now, when you know how to do this job properly, if you know how to support your family members, you are always taken up, you are always appreciated by your family members, and that is the ultimate source of happiness. Now if you are becoming a working woman and you are not getting this happiness, then what is the meaning of that? So even if you are a housewife, you can still, because I consider housewives as a family manager, because the happiness of a family mostly is in the hand of a housewife, or mostly in the hand of a woman. If as a housewife you know how to meet the needs of different members in your family, the one thing is sure is that whenever they are in difficulty, you will be the first person they will be approaching. So that is why being a housewife is also a noble thing. But unless you love this job, don't be a housewife. Don't be a housewife because you didn't get any other job. And if you are becoming a housewife because you didn't get any other job, then most probably you will be a frustrated housewife. A frustrated housewife will make the family members also frustrated, and she always also make the family unhappy. So if your intention is to be housewife, choose courses that are suitable for you. There is no need in selecting a course which has a higher job demand. You can instead select a course which you can enjoy easily. You have lot of interest in studying, rather than choosing a course which are very difficult, but at the same time lot of job opportunities are there. Because finally you are going to settle as a housewife, then absolutely there is no need for such kind of difficult courses. So this is my message, that if you want to be housewife, prepare to develop yourself, prepared for becoming a housewife. But on the other hand, if you want to be a working woman, and prepare yourself to be a working man. One problem with that I have found with the working women is that usually working women have a lot of pressure, because what happens is that most of the working women are usually not appreciated at home as well as in their office. The problem is that when you are working and you will tell your family members that I have a work, I have a lot of official responsibility. So after some time, your husband and your children will be thinking that mother has a lot of work, I should not trouble or I should not bother her always with my difficulties. Slowly they will not be approaching you for anything. And what happens in the office is that you will be saying, playing the same card there also. You will be telling that I have a family, so don't give me any work where, so that I have to stay back after the office hour. Don't put me any job where I have to come in holidays. So in the office also, you are not going to be, nobody will complain against you, nobody will tell you anything, but slowly you will be facing a lack of appreciation of the work that you are doing. That is why I told you, most of the working women are neither appreciated at home nor at the office. But there are a lot of women who are doing this balancing at very smartly. So if you are not very good in balancing your family responsibilities as well as your official responsibilities, then maybe being a housemaid may be a safe job for you if you are from a financially good family. So think about this kind of different possibilities that you can do. So this is so these are the three different possibilities that you have then if you are going to take a career. Now here you can see that there are, I will be mentioning you some of the skills that you need how to be a happy housewife. First thing is that what is your role? That embrace your role or accept your role. That is an important thing, because once you know what is your role, then everything, because if you are choosing housewife by because of your interest or because of you are going to consider it as your career, then everything is easy. Then always set realistic expectation. That is also an important thing, because never expect anything that is difficult, that is impractical. Then most housewives should have a routine, because normally if you are a working woman, by 8 or 8:30 you have to finish your work. So even if you are housewife, you have to finish all your work, and remaining time after 9 o'clock you can use it for something, to learn something or to engage in some activity. Even though it is not going to make any money, it will be making you happy. So this is how you have to spend your time, even when you then pursue your passion. That is another thing that you have to keep in your mind, because when you are a housewife, you have a little bit extra time, and you can use that extra time with connecting with a lot of people, because when you are in a family life, you know that most of the time this family relationship are actually maintained and kept intact by the care of women members. Women are actually connecting with other family members and other friends most of the time. Men don't do this do very much. So connecting with other family members is an important part of keeping our family happy and healthy. And at the same time, even when you are a housewife, make sure that you take care about your body properly, dress properly. Then whatever difficulties you have, you should always communicate with the partner. Then always seek opportunities for personal growth. So these are some of the steps that you can do if you want to be a happy housewife. Then similarly, how you can be a happy employee. So this is another thing, because every kind of career has its own difficulty. You think housewives may be easy job, it is not going to be the case. So when you are a house, when you are an employee, these are some of the steps you can do. There should be a purpose in meaning in doing that job. If you come to a teaching job, unless you like that job, then it is going to be a real headache, a real trouble for you and for your children. You are actually wasting your time, and you are also making spoiling the life of many children. So this is a, so there should be a purpose and there should be meaning and what you are doing. Then all one important problem many of the employees are facing is that they do not build positive relationship. Because when you are working with different employees in an office, there will be a lot of different types of people. Some may be friends with you, some may be your enemies. But even with your enemies, you have to keep certain relationship, certain positive relationship, and that is important for your professional as well as personal growth. That is why I told you interpersonal intelligence is the greatest intelligence. It is the most valuable intelligence. And if you lack that interpersonal intelligence, you cannot grow in any area of your life. Then another thing is that keep an achievable goal. Achievable goal means something that you can achieve. Don't put any dream or any goal which it will be very hard for you to achieve. Another problem that you can do is that you should know how to prioritize your work and life balance. Earlier, I talked about the difficulties of being a working woman. She may be not be appreciated either at office nor at home. But so, if you don't know when you are an employee, this is one thing you have to know. You know how to prioritize which are the things which are important in your office place, which are the things which are important in your family. So this is known as balancing this work and family life balance. This balancing job you should do properly. Then always seek growth and learning opportunity. Even if you are in a particular job, always think about learning small courses, because these small courses will be always improving or developing your outlook. Because I earlier PM is I always go to many other countries most of the time for any attending conferences. Whenever I go to another foreign country, it is a new learning for me, and I could get lot of new ideas which I somehow when I come back here, I try to put in practice in my college or in my personal life. So when you are learning something, it is always it is always improving your chance for implementing new ideas. Then practice self-care. Some people have a problem with the self-care because they don't take proper care of their body. If you are not taking proper care of your body, what happens is that after a time you become physically ill, and you will be mentally exhausted. You will be facing burnout. Then all this will be going to create all sort of problem for you after some time. Then seek feedback and recognition. When you have a difficulty, talk with the people who are above your level or below your level. They will be giving you some idea. So then, and this is how you can improve your life as an employee, and you can become more happy. Then find enjoyment in your work. If you cannot enjoy your work, then there is no meaning in doing that. It is only for a salary. When you work for a salary, sooner or later you are going to be mentally frustrated. You are going to be depressed. So this is the problem. Then if you don't know how to be a happy employee, then third aspect, possibility, how you can be happy and entrepreneur. Now you can see that, as I told you earlier, this is the best possibility if you want to make money, because business people always grow faster than salaried people, because that is one advantage of business people. They are getting more money and they can develop more faster. They will be always enjoying higher standards of living. but at the same time they have a lot of tension. They will be facing more enemies, more competition, and to because of that, unless you follow certain thing that which I have mentioned here, always pursue your passion, what you want to do. So most of the business people may be in that job not for money. Money is an important thing. Without money you cannot do anything. But because they are following their heart, because just like Steve Jobs, he was following his heart. He made lot of money, but for him money was not important. Just like Bill Gates, he also made a lot of money. So for the money is not the main factor. It is a passion, and that's why being a happy entrepreneur, you need a lot of things. Like you have to be constantly in touch with a supportive network. For example, if you are in a particular business, for example, you establish a catering business, you have to be in connection with the other people who are doing the same job, because that will improve your competence, that will improve your professionalism, that will give you new ideas, new insight to develop your business in a better way. And also, if you are in a good connection with other people who are doing the catering business, then you will be slowly enjoying that activity. So this is some of the steps that you can do if you want to be happy. And here also, keeping the work and life balance is a very important thing if you want to be happy entrepreneur. Then the next one is different types of job that you want to be. For here, before that, I want to discuss a few other ideas. Is that one important thing that you have to keep in your mind is that jobs always go to the second best or third best. And recently, I went for an interview as an expert at St. Teresa's College, and I told you earlier that it was a difficult process. Then when myself and principal as approached director, you know what she told me? Select the second best. They don't want the best one, because if you take the best one may not stay. And after some time, we maybe have to conduct this same interview 3 months or 6 months later. So when an institution is taking you, they want to be there at least for 1 or 2 years. So that is why if you know this role, you don't need to be frustrated. Even if you feel that I am not very good, the best are not taken. Best always think that they will be always appreciated, but jobs always go to the second best or third best. So if you keep this point in your mind, it will be easier for you to face most of the interview. Then another is, there is a number 7, 38, 55. Now what is this meaning of that 7, 38, 55? 7, that is it's an interview success formula. 7 refers to the what you are talking in an interview. The weightage of that is when you are talking an interview, what matters is that 7% is what you talk, the content of your talk. 38% is your tone, how you are talking, that the voice and tone, that is the 38%, and 55% is your body language. So here you can see that when you are telling something in any interview, what you are telling is not important. It is how you are telling, and what you are telling is the most important thing. So keep always this point in your mind. Talking content of the idea that you are telling is not the important thing. How you are telling and the tone of your language and the indirect body language is more important. And if you want to succeed in any interview. Here also there are few questions that tell me these are the possible questions you can expect. What are your strengths? You have to be a clear answer for that. What are your weakness? For that also you should have a clear answer. So try to search what should be the best answer I should give. Then another thing I want to tell you, if you want to succeed in career, is that recently I heard some videos, one by Steve Jobs, second is by this Safari channel, that person, what is name, Santosh George Kolangara. Now, what Steve Jobs was mentioning is that, Steve Jobs was the person who established a Mac computer, and at the age of 20 he established that. And he was telling an audience of university students is that from the Mac company that he has established, he has been dismissed after 10 years. When he became 30, the company he established fired him or dismissed him. You know how much frustration a person like him is facing. Then he said that that was his greatest opportunity. And because he was fired or he was dismissed from that company, he established many other companies like Pixel, etc. And because of that, now he is making more money than from the parent company. So this is one case where sometimes when you have a difficulty, when you face a lack of opportunity, that can be made a great opportunity by some others. Then another video is by Safari channel director Santosh George Kolangara. Now you know that now he is a channel of his own, and that channel is the only channel where we cannot see any advertisement. Now, and he was telling that when he first bought this videos to Asianet, Asianet said that we cannot we cannot telecast this one. Then he said that if you then they put a condition, and if you don't want money, we will telecast your program. Then he agreed for that. Then and for about 11 years, Asianet was telecasting his program without giving him any money. Then how he has progressed? Now, for the first 2-3 years when Asianet was telecasting this program, and Santosh George Kolangara telling that he received several calls from Asianet and other people asking for videos of his program. Then he made some videos thinking that nobody is going to purchase that. He put a heavy price, huge price for that. That is 3,500. 3,500 for a video cassette 10 years back is a big money. But there are still people who wanted to buy that video cassette even by spending 3,500. So he said that in the initial time, for the first 5 years of his life, he was facing a lot of difficulties. So here I want to tell you is that one way by which you can get a lot of ideas is simply watching lot of motivational videos are there, especially of these great personalities. You go to YouTube and search motivational videos, you will come across several ideas, and these ideas will always improve your chance of success in your life. Now, these are the different types of possibilities that you can have in your life. I think we will take a short break now.